So when it comes to RGB video lights, I've had some very mixed experiences. Some of them are great and some of them are terrible. So when I got this little guy right here, I didn't know what to expect. I saw the price tag like $25 to $30, saw how it looked, all plasticky, and I really had my doubts, but upon testing it, I've honestly been quite impressed, and I think this is going to be a product that a lot of filmmakers are going to want to pick up just to bring and throw in their bag and have it in case you need it. So let me run you down on why I think that is. So one of the big doubts I had when I saw this light was that there's no controls on the light itself. The only controls you have are one on-off switch on the top, which basically just turns on the light. But besides that, you can't change anything. You can't change any colors, brightness, anything like that on the light itself. Everything's controlled within your phone, which is usually a big red flag for me. Phone apps from companies, especially like Chinese ones like this sort of light, aren't usually that great, and they usually make it very difficult to use the actual product. But in this case, I've been quite surprised. The app works really, really well and does everything it's supposed to do. So I'll talk about that a bit later, but that's the first red flag I had, and it was quickly alleviated. So first, let me just run you down on some brief specs about this light itself. So it can run for about an hour on 100% brightness, which isn't great, but not terrible. You know, that's okay for a light this size. It gets the job done, and our battery life isn't terrible, especially at 100% brightness, so it's not too bad. Now in terms of brightness, this light gets up to 350 lux at about 0.5 meters, which isn't super bright, but gets the job done enough in most situations, and you're not really gonna have to worry about lighting up a whole scene with this during the day. Like as you can see, this is turned on right now and it doesn't really do that much, but at night and in darker areas, it does quite a bit. The light itself is charged via USB-C on the side right here, which is super nice. I'm very glad that companies are switching to USB-C instead of micro USB, which really just sucks. So it's nice to have that compatibility in here so we can use it with different products. And then the only other feature on the light itself is a 1/4" thread on the bottom, so you can actually mount it to the top of your camera if you want like a POV light when you're going places. Super handy and nice to have. And in terms of weight and size, as you can see, it's super small, fits in the palm of my hand, and it's super lightweight. It's fully plastic, so it's really just a light that you can throw in your bag, forget about, and you have it if you need it, which is really nice. One thing that is a bit tricky about this light is to figure out what percentage battery you're at. The only indicator you have is a little blinking light on the side, which basically just blinks full for 100% charge, blinks every once in a while for 75%, down to 10%, and then blinks really quickly at 10% or less. So in between 75% and 10% battery life, you can't really tell what percentage you're at, which is a bit unfortunate because there is no screen on here, but you generally have a good idea it will last about an hour. And then another thing I wish this light had, which it doesn't, is just a little dial on the side, at least for just brightness. You can't control colors and all that from the light, of course, but it would be nice just to have a little bit of brightness controls right on the side. But I mean, for $25, I mean, you really can't go wrong with this light. It does everything it's supposed to do and works surprisingly well, so those little things here and there aren't that big of a deal, and I think it's really worth the value. Okay, so now I'm gonna very quickly show you how the app works. So first things first, you need to turn on the light just with the button on the top. It comes on with this nice simple white right here, and now you need to go open the app to change anything else. So we're gonna scroll over here and open up the app. And as you can see, it already changed the color. It connects automatically, which is such a big benefit. You don't have to go into settings and change anything. So instantly it's connected to the light and it's good to go. If you have multiple lights, you can turn them on at different times and basically just select these different channels. So as you can see, I can select B, I could turn on another light and it would connect to channel B, and I could control them all independently. But we're just gonna stick with channel A for now. As you can see, there's an on and off button on the top, so it just controls the light on and off, super easy like that. So when you go down a bit, your first controls are CCT, which basically just change regular color temperature. So you can select between some presets, or you can just change the color temperature right here. Super simple, and that's just your most basic light settings. Now is where it starts to get cool. So if you go to HSL, you can basically just select any color you want. Super responsive and quick. You just select these colors, and as you can see, it's like instantaneous when it changes the colors. You can select different brightnesses. So down at the bottom, I'm at 0%. And go all the way to 100, so super easy controls there. Then if you go back home, you have RGBWY, which basically just gives you different controls in different ways. I'm not too big of a fan of that one, but if you want to dial it in, you have that one. Then you have XY coordinate, so there's more ways to change the color and saturation and brightness, so that's another one. Next in the app, we have effects, which actually have some pretty cool effects that look relatively realistic. So things like candlelight, you have flame, you have fireworks, TV effects, police lights, ambulance, party effects. So there's a lot of different options in here, and they're all actually pretty decent. So that's surprising. A lot of the times with cheaper apps like these, you don't have great effects. So pretty nice to have some stuff like that. And then if we go home again, the last feature on this app is actually super cool. It's a color picker. So basically anything I point my camera at, it's gonna change the color to that. And obviously it's dark out right now, so I'll show you another example of it working elsewhere, but it works surprisingly well, and it's a pretty cool feature. I don't know how usable it is, but it's kind of fun. And then here you see my scene. So basically you're able to add different presets. If you like one, a specific color or something, you can just set it to that and it will save that color. But that's basically it about the app. It's super simple to use, as you can see, super intuitive, and actually connects to the light and responds very quickly. So those are all great things that I like, and a lot of different lights don't have those features, so it's very nice to have here. But anyway, that's basically it. I think this light is just a great product to have, to buy, and just throw in your bag. And if you need it in a situation, if you want to add some accent colors, or if you just need to light up a scene and you're out in the woods somewhere, you have this light. It's super lightweight and it gets the job done. So considering all that and the price, I just don't really see a reason not to pick one up. If you're interested in checking it out, links will be in the description down below. But that's it for today. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe down below. It really helps me out a lot, and I will see you all next time.